guys, this is Jeremy Skilko here from Better Life Fitness. Coming back at you with another YouTube video. These are all free and you can check them out on my personal website, www.betterlifefitness.com. Fitness has one S if you're typing in the URL. Go check out my website, tons of free stuff there. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about supplements. So supplements are something that have really grown in popularity over the years. When I first started working out, too many people weren't into supplements. It was more just a natural route. I mean, there was always the people that were into supplements, and there always will. But as sciences have advanced and moved forward, this has been something that has vastly grown in the fitness industry. And there's a couple of things that I wanted to just point out to you guys that are important to keep in mind when you're taking supplements. If a lot of you know me from my channel, my website, you'll probably know that I am not a big fan of most supplements. There are a couple that I will say that I don't mind, but for the most part I'm not a big fan of supplements, and I do try and push a healthy, well-balanced lifestyle with all natural foods, which is what I believe personally is best. And a lot of people that are in the health industry that have really studied sciences will usually encourage you to do the same thing. If you go to a nutritionist, they will advise you to eat real food, and they will say eat a balanced diet. So there's a lot of trends out there. There's a lot of stuff where you eat only carbs, you eat only proteins. That's not something I really like to encourage, because we were given, carbs and proteins and fats for a good reason, and they're an important staple in our diet that our body actually needs to function properly. And there's a lot of good fats out there, and there is bad fats. So it's just kind of learning what to eat, what times to eat it, and there is a little bit of a science to it. But I do believe that it is best to eat natural foods. So, but getting back to supplements here, a couple things that I did want to say is that, first of all, be mindful of who is selling the supplement. So if you're reading it from a Men's Health magazine, or you're on a website that has a whole bunch of product, and there's a whole bunch of guys that are pointing to supplements with big, huge arms, and there's photos of girls that are in bikinis that are a size 0 and look like they have bodies that aren't even natural, then those are some key things there to look at. So watch who is selling the product, because anytime you get people with insecurities that want to look better, there's always going to be someone out there who's going to market off people's insecurities. And unfortunately, they end up making a lot of money off of this, and they're very, very good at selling it. These are people that are great in business, in marketing, and they're very good at fooling you into buying their product. And if you have noticed, there's always a new product out there. If you're trying to take the most popular supplement, you will never keep up, because there's always a new one out. There's always some new person that's all amped up about something that's some magical pill that'll help you lose weight. And so keep that in mind when you're thinking about taking supplements. The second thing that I wanted to say here is most of the time with supplements, some of them will give you results, but there's always a price to pay. So you have to kind of decide what you want. Do you want results, or do you want health? So they kind of go on different hands there. So I've noticed a lot of people in the fitness industry who claim to be health nuts that are taking all these supplements, and they're on a whole bunch of stuff that is unhealthy for you, and they claim to be health nuts, and it doesn't really make that much sense. So you have to decide, what do you want from your body? What do you want out of life? Again, I encourage just a healthy, well-balanced diet, and to accept yourself for who you are. There's tons of stuff on my website that are just encouraging and empowering ladies and men just to accept them for who they are. It doesn't matter what size you are, what the number says on the scale, or how you look. It just matters how you feel, and that you're active and you're moving forward, and that you're hopefully improving a little bit each day. But it doesn't matter the way that you look, and there's a lot of false stereotypes out there about how the world thinks that we should look. And it's always changing. If you look at history, there's always a new trend. Right now the trend is that you have to be completely ripped, and guys have to have a lot of muscle to be accepted, and girls have to be very, very skinny. If you look back in videos, girls were not as skinny and men were not as muscular. So you can see the progressions over the years, how they have changed, and it will always change. So if you're always just trying to live up to the expectations of magazines, Hollywood, the movies, what people think you should look like, then there will always be something that you cannot obtain. It will always be changing. It will always be shifting into some other trend. So another thing I guess to add is that see what are real, see what are things that are actually going to stay and stick around for a while, that are actually real evidence, and not just things that are fads, because there's a million fads out there and it's really hard to tell which is which. So the first one I had said is watch who's selling it. That's a very thing to be mindful of when you're buying a product. And then secondly, watch to see if it's something that's going to stick around. And then thirdly is depending on what supplement it is, just make sure you're reading the labels. That would be number 3, is to make sure you read the labels. So a lot of people will take a lot of things, like I said, they'll be promised by very convincing salespeople at, I'm not going to say names, but at some of these supplement companies, and they're very good at convincing you to take these things. If you don't take the time to read the ingredients, then you're ingesting things and putting stuff into your body that you have no clue what it is, and you're just going off the word of advice of someone you don't even know, who's probably making a commission off of what you're buying. So be careful who you're buying from, if it's a fad, and what the ingredients are. If you can't even pronounce the ingredients, if you've never heard them before, it's probably not the best thing to be putting into your body. And the ones that have 30 or 40 ingredients on it are usually the ones that they're throwing a lot of sneaky stuff in there that is not good for you. And again, like I said earlier, you have to decide what you want. They may give you the results, and they may make you look the way that is a trend right now. So if that's what you're going for, they may make you look like that, but they won't come without consequences. A lot of supplements are very bad on your organs. They're very bad on your liver and your kidneys and your stomach. And a lot of people can't handle them. Actually, sometimes they just run right through you, or they're a lot of them are just a lot of water with sugar, and they claim to be these magical, energizing drinks that don't do much for you. And a lot of them aren't healthy. So lots of times you're paying, $60 or $70 per month to be taking this drink every single workout, and it's just going right through your body. Can't even digest the chemical bonds in these ingredients that are in there, and you're just basically throwing your money away. And sometimes it's just more of a mental thing that you think that you're getting something off of it, but you're actually not. So there is a blog on BCAAs on my website there, if you can check that out. And this is a video on supplements, and this is kind of my stance that I take on it. I have taken a lot of supplements myself throughout my lifetime, so I'm not speaking from someone who hasn't had the experience. I've tried, a lot of No Explode, creatine, protein shakes, almost every single flavor and brand of protein shakes when I was younger. I haven't taken supplements for about a year or two now, because I started to realize it wasn't worth putting my body through that, and my bank account was suffering. And now I have more money, I feel better, and I focus on eating real foods, a lot of eggs and chicken and beef, proteins like that, carbs and potatoes, sweet potatoes, yam fries, vegetables, and a lot of, natural herbs, basil and stuff like that. So it's always better if you can make things yourself. You know exactly what's going into it. They're natural ingredients. You know what you're going to be getting out of it, how many calories, and what it's actually going to do for you. It's going to build your muscles, or it's going to cut your muscles, or it's going to sustain you for a while. And those are all important things to think about when you're taking supplements. So that's just kind of a little rundown on supplements and my opinion. And I would just advise you to be very careful what you're putting into your body. And I challenge you to just be happy with who you are, be the way that you were made, and just try to pursue a healthy lifestyle, and just be careful of what you're purchasing and what you're putting into your body, because ultimately our bodies are something that we have for a long time, and what you put into them is very important. You may look good for 10 years while you're in your youth and in your prime, but as you get older, now all of a sudden you've got all these health issues. And I've heard story after story that people have taken supplements and now they're paying for it now. So it really doesn't help you out in the end. You ultimately have to decide what you want to do, what you want to gain. But I just want to say in closing this video that you are already worth it the way that you are, and you don't need to live up to the false and unrealistic expectations that Hollywood and magazines put on you to be that person that people think you should be. You should just be able to be happy with the way that you are, and if people can't accept that, then they're probably not people that are worth being around, because they can't see you for your true heart and who you actually are. So in closing for this video, that's all I wanted to say. Again, you can go to my personal website, www.betterlifefitness.com. You can get a lot of tips on there about supplements, natural foods, and healthy stuff on there. There's a few videos, some on life coaching. There's free workout videos you can watch from your home and do them all in your basement if you don't want to go to the gym. And there's some motivational stuff, nutritional stuff, and a little bit of product and stuff on there to motivate you, and a lot of other cool stuff on there. So if you want to check that out after this video, feel free to go check it out. Also, don't forget to subscribe, and there's always more videos coming. Have a great day.